Today they're going to say, what's the derivative of inverse sine? And unfortunately, it's a new rule, okay? So you can't say, oh, power rule, gonna bring that negative out front, negative sign to the -2, right? We have to do a new rule for these, okay? So, guys, I could prove it for you, or I could not. The proof takes a long time, and I don't think it helps understanding. So are you okay if we do that? Okay, great. It does work. I agree, Gav. So here's the deal. Is this not horrible to look at? Horrible. I hate it as well. This is a lot. So check what's the U? What is going on? Here's what I'm going to do for you first. AP is not going to ask you the derivative of inverse cosine, and it's not going to ask you the derivative of inverse secant. And to that we say, oh, thank you. Yes, did I say that wrong? Thank you, buddy. Inverse cosecant. My bad. So now you're like, well, this is still pretty ugly. It is 2/6 less ugly, but it's still quite ugly. I agree. And you're like, what is this U? Okay, let's think about this. If they said, what's the derivative of inverse sine? Of U, it's 1 over the square root of 1 minus gross. What do you think this U came from? It's the angle right there. So you just throw that angle right there. You have to square it. But then what the heck is this? The derivative of that angle, exactly, with respect to x. Just like a y is dy dx. The derivative of u is a du dx. Why do we have to do this? Chain rule. What if my u was a 2x? What's du dx? 2. What if my u is just an x? What's du dx? 1. So when we don't have to deal with chain rule, this is kind of obsolete, but when this is a more complicated function, we just have to multiply by the derivative of the inner. Okay, little gift. What do you notice between the derivative of inverse sine and the derivative of inverse cosine? They're pretty similar. We just have a negative sign up there. So that's kind of a nice, we can handle that. Then derivative of inverse tangent is my favorite. Why do you think the derivative of inverse tangent is my favorite? There's no square root and there's no minus sign, subtracting, negative, whatever you want to say. That's why derivative of inverse tangent is my favorite. Why is derivative of inverse cotangent my second favorite? It's just the same thing with the negative. So we went from thinking that we'd have to maybe memorize 6 formulas to, I think it's more like memorize 2, and then the other 2 we just have to remember are negative. What do those other 2 start with? They both start with the C. Now, are we going to remember that? I don't know, but I think it is like a little helpful tool. Derivative of inverse sine is the same as cosine. Cosine is negative. Derivative of inverse tangent is the same as derivative of inverse cotangent. Inverse cotangent is negative. We can do that. We can do that. Let's try this out. I started with my favorite one, derivative of, it might help in all this blank space how I wrote arctan. Arctan and inverse tan are the exact same thing. So you might want to remind yourself arctangent of x is the exact same thing as inverse tangent of x. Would anyone need to write that, or do you guys know that very well?
I thought that was the normal.
I just think, I didn't know if you guys remembered that. So if it helps you guys, inverse sine is the exact same thing as arc sine. And inverse cosine is the exact same thing as arc cosine. The reason I'm showing you both of these is because, of course, AP uses both of them, right? They don't just pick one. I personally use the inverse notation more because it's less to write. I don't want to write all those letters for arc. Question, how do you type this in your calculator?
Second sign.
Look at that second sign. That's an inverse, right? Second cosine, second tangent. Second cosine, second tangent. Is there any button for arc? No, because they're the same thing as inverse. Sound good? Let's go apply my favorite one. So I'm going to even just bring this down because we haven't used it yet. Let's see what the heck this means. This is saying find the derivative of arctan. Again, that's the exact same thing as saying find the derivative of inverse tan of x cubed. Same thing. Haven't done any calculus. So I love inverse tan because it's just 1 over 1 plus. There's no square roots. There's no minuses. And then it's u squared. U is just the angle. What was my angle, guys? X cubed. X cubed. So I'm going to say x cubed squared. If Steffi or Campbell jumps right to x to the 6th, good for you. But then what is so easy to forget? This. This is saying what's the derivative of u? What's the derivative of that inner? 3x squared. That answer is great. Could we say 3x squared over 1 plus x to the 6th as an equivalent answer? We could. This, though, is just the derivative. This is du dx. Good job, you guys. This next one might confuse you. It is just saying, what's the derivative of inverse sine? Derivative of inverse sine, if I look back up here, whoa. Derivative of inverse sine, I'm going to get rid of this little guy. Boop. Derivative of inverse sine is 1 over square root 1 minus my angle squared. What's my angle? Very good, G. Don't forget to square it. G, what's the derivative of that angle? My du dx. Very good. Do I have to say times 1? Oh, he says, no, just say d. I agree with that. This is them asking for the derivative using this formal definition of the derivative without asking for it. There's no prime. We don't even see a prime here, but that's what they want. So here's what we got to do, you guys. We got to start with the function. Then we got to go get its derivative. Then Steffi, I heard her say, we got to get that derivative when x is root 3. And she got that root 3 from right there. Okay, so do you agree that they told us what the function was? They're like, dude, the function is inverse sine of 1/2 x. Notice that I did rewrite that to help myself later. Lucal, if you didn't write it and you did low D high, you'd still get it all right. You guys, what's the derivative of this? Derivative of inverse sine. We feel good about a little 1 over, big old root, 1 minus my u squared. Guys, you could use this u, you could use this u. At this point, it doesn't matter. You want to use top u or bottom u? Yeah, since maybe we wrote it, we're going to just keep it. I'm down with that. 1/2 x was my u squared times du dx. What's the derivative of my u? 1/2. Okay. You guys, at this point, they want to know, well, what's that derivative when x is root 3? I apologize. I don't think I gave us enough room for this problem. So we're going to have to do a couple iterations and start using this room off to the right. I'm going to just go plug in a root 3 in for my x. 1 minus 1/2 root 3 square it times 1/2. I just replaced my x with a root 3. That's all I did. Excuse me. Let's do some algebra, people. I have 1 over, big ol' root, 1 minus. This squared goes to both of these terms. What's 1/2 squared, or 1 squared over 2 squared? 1/4. So I got 1/4 times root 3 squared. What's root 3 times root 3? 3. And then I have a half still hanging out. 1/4 times 3 is 3/4. 1 minus 3/4, or 4/4 minus 3/4 is 1/4. Okay, so I got 1 over root 1/4 times 1/2. When I've got a root like that, you're allowed to go like this. Root 1/4 is the same as root 1 over root 4. What is root 1? What is root 4? So you're saying I've got 1 over 1/2 times 1/2? It is just 1. How'd you know that? Oh, yeah, that's fair. He's saying those just cancel out. You're right. Another way to think of it, Mr. G, what's dividing by half the same as? Multiplying by 2. 1 divided by half is the same as 1 times 2. Oh, okay. 1/2 of 2 is 2. Half of 2 gets us 1. Inverse tangent is my favorite. But is this product rule or chain rule? This is some chain rule because you agree, G, it's not inverse tangent of, I guess I should use a t times cosine of t, right? It's not some function times another function. It's one function in another function, right? Inverse tangent of cosine of t. That's a very good observation, Kevin. So when you're like, shoot, they want the derivative inverse tangent, thank goodness it's Lambo's favorite. Derivative inverse tangent is 1 over 1 plus. What's the angle? Yes, sir. This is my u. Cosine of t, and we got to, oops, I wrote that wrong. Cosine of t, and we got to square it, right? For a piece of candy, what's going in my parentheses? Just a negative sine of t. We done with this one? We're done.
I thought
what?
T is a variable.
Okay. Right? Let's do this guy. Oh, this one's crazy. Is this the same as inverse cosine?
Yes.
Is inverse cosine the same as inverse sine, just negative? Yes. Yeah, okay, here we go. It is negative 1 over root 1 minus my angle squared. What's my angle? 3x times the derivative of my angle. 3. This one is different than what we've done in the past because this one has an equal sign. For a piece of candy. Do you guys remember the derivative of natural log of x is 1 over x? So what's the derivative of natural log of y?
1 over y. dy dx.
Okay, anyone who just said dy dx, get a piece of candy. It is 1 over y dy dx. Okay, you guys, I know this is annoying. This right here is that implicit differentiation. Whenever there's a y, no matter where it is in our problem, we have to have a dy dx. Okay, they said, what is dy dx? I have to get dy dx by itself. Dy dx is currently being multiplied by 1 over y. How could I get dy dx by itself? Dividing by 1 over y is the same as multiplying by y. Luke didn't hear it because he was too busy looking at his candy.
So could you do 3y over?
What about negative 3y over? Yes, what if I said over 1 minus 9x squared? You guys, what are they asking for here without asking for it?
Derivative.
The derivative. What's the derivative of inverse sine? 1 over root 1 minus. Gavin and Drew, I'm not going to answer your question. The angle squared times the derivative of the angle. Derivative of x. Derivative of my angle. 1, right? So that's it. Where do they want that derivative? When x is a half. And I'm just going to go plug in a half for my x. 1/2 squared. 1/2 squared would be 1 squared over 2 squared, which is 1/4. So I've got 1 minus a fourth. 4/4 minus 1/4. 3/4. Root 3 over 4 is the same as root 3 over root 4. And we know root 4 is 2. 1 divided by a fraction is the same as 1 times the reciprocal. Is that an answer? Yes. Now, a lot of people are like, what? They're leaving a square root in the denominator. Thankfully, they're like, you know what? You've done enough math. Could their answer have been 2 root 3 over 3? It could have been, but they could not have both this answer and that answer because they're both the same. Okay? This is a chain rule because it's inverse tan of e to the x. This is an inverse tan of a variable times e to the x. This is, again, we're using this, homies. Here we go, people. 1 over. It's my favorite. 1 plus, because we have no square roots and no minuses. What is the thing I'm squaring? E to the x, and I'm squaring it. Don't forget the thing in parentheses. What is the derivative of e to the x?
Yeah, yeah.
E to the x. Good job, you guys. Is that an answer?